You are, for all intents and purposes, the professional in this situation. Realtors are hiring us to create the marketing collateral for their listings. So if you want to take your business to the next level and earn a whole lot more money as a reward for that, then you have to move into the space of authority. You could go after volume, or you could go after volume of services. If you want to make more money in your real estate photography business, then you have to think about making a switch. Okay, there's two options. You could go the Eli Jones route, where you charge exorbitantly low for your services and you fill that gap and make a ton of money, $10,000 a month or more or whatever, charging less for your services. You'll be working a whole lot more. That's the downside. Okay, it might be easier to get initial clients. It might be easier to get a lot of clients if your photography is $125, your listing videos are $200, your aerial photos are $75. Bottom of the barrel services, whatever you do, 1 or 2 or 3 per property for like a total individual shoot revenue of something like $300. That's option one. Totally feasible. You can totally do it. That's fine if that works for you. I wouldn't call myself lazy, but I'm closer to that spectrum. I like working, but I like working for things that are worth my time. They're worth doing. I talked a whole lot on this channel about how I mainly go after bigger priced bundles, and I try not to get out of bed for less than like $1,000. My ideal is like $1,600. Got a shoot coming up in a couple days that's a $2,400 shoot. It's $2,395 specifically. It's my works package on a 3,000 to 4,000 square foot property. It's 3,588 square feet. And they found me through my website and they wanted the works package. I hopped on a call with them immediately and I chatted it up with them to see exactly what they wanted to do, where their importance lied, and all that stuff. So I nailed that. The main crux of your two options is like I said, you go the Eli Jones route. You do a whole lot more volume for a similar amount of money, but you're going to be working, the equivalent of a full-time job. Whereas I can do 1 or 2 shoots a week and be at $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month for not that much effort. And my bigger bundles, the $1,600 bundle, for example, I'm in and out of there in an hour and a half. And then there's some additional services that I provide to those clients on the back end, something like virtual twilights, maybe some virtual staging, even though I hate virtual staging. I hate it so much. I hate the clients that get virtual staging. I hate virtual staging. So there's two separate, ways that you can go about this. You have the high volume, low dollar amount, and you've got the low volume, high dollar amount. I'm the low volume, high dollar amount, and in my opinion, it's so much better to do. But there are a few things, if you want to get to that spot, that you have to keep in mind in order to facilitate this for your business. And the first one, obviously, is going to be getting extremely good at your services. I see people on Reddit all the time that are like, oh, I'm a real estate photographer. I'm trying to get more clients. There's a couple people that do video really well in the area, so they get, a lot of clients that I don't. And I'm always commenting like, why don't you do video? Why don't you just start? Why don't you give it a shot? None of these services are hard. And this is in my coaching program. The first phase of 8 phases is materials creation. It should be the shortest one. Anybody can be a real estate photographer. Anybody can do real estate videography. Anybody can do all these services. These services are not hard. The thing that's hard is the client care and retention. It's building a website that can facilitate site conversions and show up on Google. All the difficult things of this business are the long-term key success points. Okay, so there's 3 phases, or rather 4 phases to this. Number 1, if you wanted to go the low volume, high dollar amount, you have to get really good at your materials. Photos, video, they're all easy to do. They are new skills, yes, but you have to learn them, and you have to learn how to do them really, really well. On YouTube, there's no shortage of, here's how you get really good at photos. Here's how you get really good at videos. I guarantee you, if you spend every day for the next month practicing in your apartment, practicing in your room, in your living room, outside your house, going to, across town and just practicing with video and then editing something, you will get supremely good at it. And it's just going to be a repetition thing. You'll get great at it over time. But then the second part of this whole transition into the low volume, high dollar amount shoots is going into the second phase of it, which is purpose. There is a purpose for all of these materials that you're getting done for your clients. There's a reason that they're using them. And I wanted to talk to you about the difference between a real estate photography service provider and a marketing professional, a marketing concierge, an authority in the industry. There's a key separation here. So the first trajectory could be, hey, a client reaches out to you, hey, I've got a shoot for you. Come, I just want photos and aerial photos, get it done. You say, okay, yes, that'll be $275 or whatever it ends up being. Upload the materials to HD Photo Hub. You attach the deliverable amount. They pay, go on your way, and you wait for the next one. Here's the second option. Someone contacts you for a property. They go on your website and they put they fill out your inquiry form, and then you give them a call. And you call them and you ask, before they even select a bundle, maybe there's one that they selected that they're interested in, but you can ask them, as soon as you pick up the phone and call them, you can say, hey, what's your goal with marketing this property? And they're going to be like, they're going to be kind of taken off guard. And here's the reason why you ask that. You are, for all intents and purposes, the professional in this situation. Realtors are hiring us to create the marketing collateral for their listings. Okay, so we inherently are marketing these properties for them. Obviously, they're going to actually put the materials where they need to go. They're going to get the eyes. They're going to do the networking. They're going to host the open houses, all that stuff. But without the marketing materials created by us, they have nothing to market with. So if you want to take your business to the next level and earn a whole lot more money as a reward for that, then you have to move into the space of authority. When my clients reach out to me, they're like, well, I'll just tell you exactly flat out exactly how it works. They reach out to me and they ask me now, well, let me give you the address. Why don't you look at, the place on Google Earth or map on Google Street View for that instance, and then maybe look at the Zillow interiors that are there from a couple years ago, and you let me know what you think this property needs. And there's a key level of trust here. They know that I'm not just going to be like, oh, get the fucking works package. You know what I mean? That's not how, I'm not just trying to extract a ton of money from every single client. A 1,400 square foot property in a suburban neighborhood is not going to need probably a cinematic listing video unless a lot of work has gone into renovating the interior space. At bare minimum, something like that, a 1,400 square foot, maybe it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom with a nice sized yard in maybe there's no houses across the street from it. It's just like an open field or whatever. That property could benefit from obviously photos at the bare minimum, floor plan, because that's a nice complement to the photography, and then a virtual tour, obviously, to do a walkthrough of the property. But they don't need a cinematic listing video. A vertical social media walkthrough video would be really good, low dollar price point for something like this, and then just aerial photos. And then that's all you need for that specific property. But a 5,000 square foot property that was custom built, and it's on, it has a rotunda driveway, like the video that I did, that I think I did a video where I was sitting on a couch talking. It was at that property. That was a $2,300 shoot. With that, I specifically recommended, I was like, well, with this one, I'd like to do it at the very minimum. The luxury photos that I do, so it's flash ambient, that starts at $600 for just photos. And then the cinematic property video, it's going to be maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and I'd like to come back at twilight and do a day to night transition, because there's all these custom lights in the pergola in the backyard of the house that floods out to the infinity pool that is also custom lit. And there's this fire pit that needs, so all these different key features need to be showcased in their own ways. And then that right there is okay, you have photos, but then you come back and then you do nighttime photos, and then you do day to night transitions in the video. So then that gets more into the high dollar amount things. And then, so any given property that my clients come to me with, they'll ask me what my recommendations are as far as services to best market this property, because I've identified myself and proven myself as an authority figure in creating these marketing materials and knowing how to strategize how my clients are going to market these properties. So you have the key difference between service provider that just goes and takes photos and does a video and delivers it and F's off to the next one. And then you've got someone, me, that's intimately involved in the strategic setup of the process for these properties. Is they might not know how they should market this property. Maybe they're only used to selling condos, and then randomly they got a 3,000 square foot kind of more upper echelon listing, and they don't know. A good rule of thumb for all the clients is, yes, of course, the more listing services that you get on each property is going to only result in the house selling for more money and quicker. If they have a virtual tour, if they have photos, floor plan, drone, video, everything, it's just going to help the house sell quicker, because all of these services, all they do is they just acquire more eyes that wouldn't necessarily have seen the property. Because when I look at houses, and if I don't see a virtual tour in a video, I click off. I don't care about photos. I see photos all day long, and they don't give a great representation of the space. Photos are the bare minimum, which if your clients are just getting photos, I hate to say it, but those realtors are bare minimum realtors. The clients that I work with, they know if they just throw the book at it, it'll sell a whole lot quicker if they have a virtual tour, if they have a video. So there are purposes behind each service that you get. And the quicker that you can master that, and then master it in a way that can be filtered and distilled to share with your clients, is like, if you hop on a phone call with one of your clients, you ask them like, hey, have you ever thought about marketing with video? Do you know, like, are you comfortable with that? And they're like, well, no, why would I? You actually have to have an answer for that. You know what I mean? So that was phase 2 and 3, which is the conversations aspect of it. So you have phase 1, which is getting good at the materials, and you have phase 2, which is the purpose of these materials, and then phase 3, which is the conversion, like the conversations to help your clients understand the purpose of these materials and why they might want to use them and how they can use them to market, either on getting a single listing website, or using social media, or copying a YouTube video and then sharing it on their Facebook, or having a QR code on a brochure that they can give to people that starts with the cinematic listing video, or it's just a QR code to the YouTube video. There's all kinds of different ways that they could do. Obviously, the realtor has to be the one putting in the legwork, but all the materials that they're going to be using is up to us to do. So if you can figure out exactly why people are using you and what the purpose of using you is, and then you're able to distill that in a way that's very conversational, that will facilitate the upsell process. Because an honorable mention that I wanted to go over isn't necessarily part of the phases, but if you're using an automated shopping cart software, you're giving up money. Let me say this again. If you're using something like REO's shopping cart, or Spiro's shopping cart, or HD Photo Hub's shopping cart, and it's seamlessly linked to your website or whatever, you're giving up money. On my website, if you land on it, it has a book now button, and it takes you to a custom form where they input the address of the property, if they've worked with me before, how they heard of my business, and then a checkbox that's like, yes, I understand that if the property isn't available, there might be an extra charge, all that. And then they hit next, and it goes and asks them for their name, their phone number, and their email address. And then as soon as that email comes through, I pick up the phone, just like this, I dial their number, and I call them. And I have a conversation with them immediately about what they want to achieve with their property. If you're using an automated shopping cart, you take all that one-on-one conversation and that connection away from the process of site visitor to potential shoot that you want to go on. You should be just picking up the phone and having a conversation. It's going to be terrifying for the first few, because you won't really, you're fumbling along, you won't really know what to say, you might choke on your spit, whatever. Just do it. You'll get more comfortable with it as time goes on. And that kind of leads me to phase 4, is you need the systems to be able to facilitate fulfillment of these things. So that really is the main thing. If you have a website, then just have there's a very specific outline of what makes sense to have on a website. If you land on mine, you have the hero section that has a property video playing in the background. You've got an H1 tag that has my city plus real estate photography, so Google knows to show up for it. And then you have what I do, and you have a nice book now button. You scroll down, you've got the top selling bundles. You scroll down, you've got a slight, small portfolio of photos and videos. And then calls to action on every single thing that they do. And then there's social proof. There's reviews that I have, and they scroll down, and there's my picture and a little bit about me, and then there's another book now button, and then you scroll down, there's a service area. So there's very specific things in a very specific order that I put on my website in order to facilitate site visitors converting into clients. Because if you take them through the process in a very logical and chronological way, you can funnel people down to do one specific thing, which is hit book now, fill in the information of their listing and their information. And then, as soon as that information comes through, because someone might not even look at the prices that I have, but if I'm on the phone with them, I can convert them. I can sell them a $1,600 package even if they were only prepared to spend $175. That's what you have to get good at, is the sales part of it. You can be a real estate photographer and make a couple thousand extra dollars a month. Sure. Or you can be a real estate photography business owner, get really good at the systems and processes, know the purpose of what you're doing and the value that it's going to provide to your clients, and then learn how to sell it. And by selling, I don't mean like, well, today only, if you have, if you're interested in aerial photos, I'll give it to you for $275, regular price $300. I don't mean that. I mean, have a conversation with your clients. Let them know the purpose of these materials. Let them know, have a dedicated portfolio that you're ready to just send off at a moment's notice with all the highest quality stuff, and then just have conversations. That's all real estate photography and just business in general boils down to, is yes, get good at what you do. But the most important thing, by and large, is going to be learn how to talk to people, learn how to convey the value of what you're doing and providing in a way that comes across to people so they say yes. All you want to do is get a yes. If you can do all those things that are outlined, you can switch to a low volume, high dollar amount service rather than doing the high volume, low dollar amount and just breaking your back. I maybe go on 5 to 10 shoots a month at this point is what I'm doing. Because everything that I don't do just photos. I don't do just aerial photos. I don't go and just do a video. I go to do 1,000+ packages because that's what's worth my time, because I've got all this other stuff going on, like this YouTube channel, this office, and a bunch of other stuff that I'm going on. So a lot of it is by necessity, but once you switch your mindset to, I am worth this amount of money, I can sell packages for $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, whatever. As soon as you believe it, you'll be able to convey that belief to someone else and they'll believe it. But if you just think that these materials are worth $275 and that's all you can earn, then that's all you will earn. So I encourage you to shift your mindset a little bit. One-on-one coaching program is still open. I've got a couple more slots that I'd be comfortable with filling. Not too many more after that, but you can find my book in the description below. You've got Coaching Light. You can get that. It's a 3 to 6 month roadmap that's delivered to you. You've got all kinds of stuff. So click the links in the description down below. Get started. There's all kinds of things to help you build a solidly profitable real estate photography business. So thanks for watching this supremely long video. I hope you got some value out of it. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.